you're going to race this.
There's always been competition, whether it's bicycles, cars, it doesn't matter what it is.
Take it easy.
He has strengths. I know his strengths. I know his weaknesses. You know, someone asks me, are you better than him? Of course, yes, I am.
This is what a hobble looks like.
They always say that, you know, he brings out the worst, or I bring out the worst in him, because it's the hardest ride of their day.
It also doesn't help if you go, I don't know which side you are. I've got no eyes in the back of my head.
Gavin, I don't think I'm as stupid as you, because you would go balls to the wall everywhere. Balls to the wall. Risk it all.
Time will tell.
This corner, the driving corner where we're standing now, I mean, this was legendary.
Yeah, absolutely.
It really was.
Yeah.
I remember pushing Dion off here sometime.
Did you?
Yeah, nah. Oh, you never, you're always behind me, so.
Probably not true. My favourite moment was catching Dion a bit, then putting him under a bit of pressure in this first corner. Hug the curve. Next man who was off on the outside.
Well, we've got an absolutely fantastic heritage, starting in the late 1940s with the XK120, fabulous racing vehicle. Went on to win a lot of races, went into rallying at that point too. Then into the early 50s with a C-Type, first car with disc brakes, so made it incredibly powerful runner at Le Mans. Went then over to the iconic D-Type, which dominated the middle to end of the 50s at Le Mans. Then into the 80s, the Tom Walkinshaw racing team, who did amazing things with our Jaguar XJS, and our XJR9, the fabulous silk cut vehicle, which outstanding pedigree that vehicle had. Again, we were in Formula One in the early 2000s with Mark Webber and Eddie Irvine, and then most recently, our Formula E team, we've been in Formula E for a few years, won their maiden Formula E race. So Mitch Evans took the race in Rome about 3 weeks ago. So yes, a fantastically rich pedigree and heritage, which we're extremely proud of. And we've got some bog standard vehicles here this week. And then, of course, the electric I-Pace, which has done an amazing job. Think about this, 2.2 tons, family car, an SUV, running up this hill under 50 seconds, just absolutely extraordinary. So we get the opportunity to really test these vehicles in this environment whilst having a lot of fun.
With 5 championship titles to his name, including World Rotax Max Karting Champion and SA Rally Champion, Mark Grenier is fast in anything with 4 wheels.
It's tricky, it's bumpy, it's not a normal track environment. So what I'm really good at is also cold early mornings, out the blocks, normally be pretty quick. That was my biggest strength, rhythm right from the start. And I'm hoping I can do the same here. I'm used to racing between trees at quite high speeds, so, you know, the hill doesn't scare me.
Like his brother, Gavin also has a world karting title to his name, as well as being a Formula Volkswagen champion and a runner-up in Formula Le Mans.
The reality is you've got to take your qualifying approach. Coming from a circuit background, I think the run up the hill is tarmac, so I mean we're all used to that. It's bumpy, so probably a little more like a rally scene, but you're going to run it more than once. It's precision, and I think you're going to have to clip every apex, and you're going to have to maximize every acceleration point. You're going to have to maximize the start. To be honest, I think plays in both favours a little, but I think once I've run it a couple of times, I think I'll be strong.
The brothers will be piloting identical Jaguar F-Type SVRs. Plenty of power, light weight and all-wheel drive, exactly what you need to take on the hill.
Okay, we have a hairpin here. Let's see what this thing does. So, go down to second here, turn it in, lay down a bit of rubber. Oh, yes.
As winner of South Africa's Nissan GT Academy, Ashley Oldfield has raced professionally overseas and now puts that talent to good use as a road test editor at cars.co.za.
This is my first time driving an SUV up this hill. I'm not used to the high naturedness of it, but it should be a lot of fun with 405 kilowatts.
Oh, the glorious, glorious noise. Take a listen to that. The joys of driving a naturally aspirated, finely tuned track machine. Tell you what, it is something that is special.
Marius Roberts has worked as a television presenter for 20 years, but it's the past 10 years that he's been working his dream job, reviewing cars for Ignition. You get yourself fired up in your mind, but the minute you put the suit on, and it is a proper suit, it's game face. The first of Jaguar's Pace family to be given the SVR treatment, the F-Pace definitely won't be short on power. Impressive figures for a big SUV.
I'm Sean Watson-Smith, four-stroke lawnmower go-kart racer of some repute, amateur bicycle racer, ex-professional racing driver, father of one times netball team. A lot of women in my house.
As a 10-time South African champion, Sean Watson-Smith is one of our most successful production car drivers, and he'll be amped to get back to winning ways.
Yeah, it's been ages since I've been a racing driver, so I cannot wait to get going.
Hi, I'm Mike Briggs and I'm a racing driver. Well, if you go and look in the history books, apparently I was a racing driver once upon a time. I'm going to try to do my best and be that again.
The 90s were the wonder years for SA Motorsport, and Mike Briggs was the man to beat in production and touring cars. The 9-time champion also won titles in Asia and competed in British touring cars.
I'm a nice guy until I put my helmet on. So watch this hill, I'm going to kill it.
Dion, you bad. I'm a father of 3 and a business owner. Used to be a racing driver though. In a previous life, it feels like sometimes.
John Hubert literally grew up at Killarney Racetrack and was karting at the age of 10. The 3 times SA champion was a works driver for BMW and Opel and knows about competing and winning against Mike and Sean.
Yeah, it's going to be a really tough test for the 3 of us.
Having scooped an unprecedented 3 titles at this year's World Car of the Year Awards, including World Car of the Year, the I-Pace delivers 700 Newton meters of instant torque and will complete the weekend on a single charge.
Michael, obviously, was a very big competitor of mine, and Sean was my teammate. Both different people, but incredibly intense competitors.
We're going to pretend that this is nothing serious, and as soon as the lights go out, I'm a racing driver again, you know. And it's challenging to find that part in your stomach that drives you.
Awesome to go to Swartkops again. There's so many memories, you know, flooding back, chasing each other around the track.
This is me. I was born to do this, and for most of my life, this is what I've done. This is the thing that excites me.
Just great fun, you know. And we've got such a long history together, but it's a long time ago. So to do it again is amazing.
It brings back a lot of memories, and obviously, you know, it charges up. You know, you start becoming competitive again, you know.
How crazy was that?
Yeah, very good.
I mean, it's a luxury car.
Insane.
And did you find out punches out of a corner?
Yeah.
You know, my first lap, I think we probably both made the mistake that you push in too fast, but it's got so much acceleration.
Once I got used to the weight, it was okay. And make no mistake, the sledging and stuff, it's got a bit of an edge to it, you know. It is meant in a certain level.
It's amazing. I mean, I just got off the simulator now, and I'm just telling them all what times I just did because it's quicker than them, and I know they're going to be out there chasing it.
It's not a track car, but I think the hill climb will suit it better. It's going to start off the line very well because of that amazing 0 to 100 time.
Incredible power, surprising agility for a car of that size, but the power, wow, that kind of shocked me.
I think the car will be very quick, actually. I think the hill climb will suit it in lots of ways.
It's way more than I thought it would be. The performance just blew my mind. Interesting stuff. I mean, now we're going to try and take what we learned today and try and put that onto the hill climb, which is totally different. I mean, if you look at these corners...
I'm concerned there's not one... The first corner looks a little bit like maybe the fast sweep or the sweep at Swartkop, sorry, the one after the fast sweep.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think what we all are saying is because that thing accelerates so quickly, you know, we're going to get there.
There's a lot of time here, and it will build up our confidence here.
Yeah, because you got to get on the gas early there to go all the way up the hill.
No, I want to scare you boys, but you know that if you crash here, you die. It's crash and die. So you guys, I'll take the risks this time. I want you guys to go slowly. No, I'm serious.
Just don't tell my wife that, please.
Is your wife going to watch this?
I'll tell her to go to the spas.
Can you imagine we've lived this all to get grey from racing and we get hurt going up a hill?
How many guys have been killed here?
Not a lot. Not badly killed. No, the one was like a little bit killed.
Maybe we should pull out now.
Racing drivers never cry. No, seriously.
I think you should just go a little bit slow. Just be.
Let's be conservative. Let's call that a neutral zone, maybe. We just go conservative. As long as we all do it. I mean, I trust you guys.
I'll go last. You guys lift off first. And I would never want to beat you guys unfairly. Okay, that's fair.
I think everybody has a certain level of talent, and you need to be very talented to be one of the best, call it. But then it becomes very mental, how you deal with the stresses of everything and the team itself and so on.
I think mental preparation, the amount of energy that I put into that to make sure I was properly in the zone and prepared for all eventualities, that type of thing, and just really focusing.
I always thought that I was a thinking driver. You know, some of the guys had brute speed, but they never thought about things, and I always thought a lot about my race before I even got into the car, and I thought that was always a strength of mine.
My brother. Organised, eh?
How's it?
Not a bad spot.
Yeah.
I must say, it's nice I've seen you guys looking.
It's coming from you.
You clean up nicely. How are we feeling?
Feels like the old days.
Feeling fine, eh?
I could smell the smell driving up the hill with the window down. Oh, just got so excited. I could smell petrol. Smelt a racetrack.
I'm driving electric cars.
As spectators are in and out of here all the time, please keep them safe, guys. Corner cutting. There are policemen placed on the circuit all the way up.
We've had a little bit of a drizzle. It's coming down again now.
Oh, and it's raining again.
It's a little bit wet and slippery. The worst is I don't know the hills. I was kind of trying to guess where I was going after. I've still got to kind of learn the track.
It feels really fast up to the first corner and up the hill.
The track is just
completely new. You know, I put the brakes on for the last corner. It's supposed to be flat out. So it's just a learning process for now.
in reality, if it dries out, all of this means nothing.
It's pretty horrible. It's greasy out there. Car feels completely different to a sports car, but it's got a lot of power.
Yeah, just happy to be alive. But times are good. So at this stage, I think we Mark Grenier is the quickest, obviously.
We get a good feel for the car in terms of where the limits are, and obviously we know when the track dries up, the mechanical grip comes. So we can definitely go in deeper and harder in many of the places.
Out of the rest of the bunch, it's us sitting there, but I mean, it's early days. It's wet. Everyone's learning their way.
For me, it was a very conservative run just to get my first run under the belt and build up from that. So what's the point of breaking it before you start?
This is really where it all starts, and I'm hoping that's where Gavin's strength will come in now. The previous stuff was pretty much rally territory for me, so it's been really great for me up to now.
We are overlaying each other's data to see who's doing what where, so that although we're competing against each other, we obviously want to try and get as close to the win as possible. So that helps us to identify where each driver is stronger and get it better.
I think we need to even things out a little bit. Add my spare wheel.
It'll work. There's a bit of banter between us at the moment. Whilst it's still practice, it's all fun. But I think come later on today and tomorrow, I'll start playing a few more psychological battles with him.
Don't tell him. My race engineer. No, we'd never do that. I mean, I'm not competitive at all. Shame, let me take it out. I want to put a bigger wheel in. Quite hilarious. It's like 0.3 I find, and he comes up right behind me and he finds 0.3, and it's just like you start to get that point of view, starting to do stupid things, maybe start pushing margins and trying to run final lines you probably shouldn't be doing. I mean, driving back after that run now was my quickest, proper shake.
Any car we've driven smooth is always faster, but this one really punishes you if you do go over the limits.
Because it takes a bit of time. The traction control comes on for a couple of seconds, so you wait for the power to come back
I reckon
properly.
it's costing us maybe 0.3 or 0.4 when it happens.
But to be fair, I mean, you know, racing drivers, we've got the biggest excuse book in the world,
Yeah, we do,
so we'll find any excuse if we're not quick.
And we all know Michael's car is different to Sean and mine's car. As long as everybody knows that. Yeah.
Is that air suspension?
Yeah. Apparently that's worth about a second.
Slower, yeah, I know.
But we're not sure, no.
No, well, I don't know. We split each other by 0.2 of a second in the last quali run. So it's tight, but that's what racing's all about.
But the brothers were still shy of the time set by defending production car champion Richard Roots.
Jaguar are pretty strict of running the car as it comes off the showroom floor, and that's tyres, lock, stock and barrel. I think from my side is that I think I can still find some time in myself.
Personally, I think I know where our problem is. It's trying to switch a car on, so I think that's where our time lies, but I don't know if it's that much time.
Well, it's quite funny, you know, we're all walking around super relaxed and we're pretending we don't really care, but I can see as it's getting closer to the final now, we're starting to rev each other and starting to try and scratch in each other's minds. So I lost my mind long ago, so they won't mess with me.
I mean, ideally you want to stay away from the guys if you can, because that's what they'll be doing. But if you're in a team situation, you really wouldn't want to be associating with the other drivers, because they would try and sort of get in your head a bit.
I think I've got one run really right the whole weekend, and that was in the wet, you know. So yeah, I just got to get it right. It's hard to get it right, you know. I'm rough.
With With only the top 3 contesting the class final, Sean had this one last run to try and make it through.
Now we've got Sean Watson Smith and now we've got.
I tried hard that last run, I really did, and I thought I actually thought I had a really good run, but I had 2 traction control moments, and you know, as the traction control kicks in, you know, oh, there goes the time.
This feels a little bit like that idle South Africa moment where we have to sing about to one of our buddies. It's all good, it's been real, thank you.
Yeah. Next time.
I'm a bit upset right now. But we've got this other BMW that's splitting us now, which is really upsetting my day. So
Is that Dion's grumpy face?
grumpy now, man.
Fortunately for us, with the 3 fastest electric cars, we've obviously got the hybrid BMW, which probably shouldn't be in our race, but one of us was going to have to go, so Dion and I in the final.
I know we're going to be dealing in hundreds at the end of it, you know, and it's going to come down to little mistakes, that kind of thing.
To drive this car quickly, I've just got to be in like a chilled mode. So, you know, this is what I've been doing my whole life. Let me see if I still remember how to do it properly.
Both Dion and Mike had posted times under 50 seconds during the qualifying runs. Dion with the single fastest run, but it was Mike consistently quicker. But those times now mean nothing in this one run for top honours.
I think when you're an active sportsman, there's a place you have to go to, a mental place or a physical place, where you're actually performing beyond your comfort zone. So when you retire, it's because you stopped feeling like that.
I felt the pressure, I've got to be honest. We made fun of this weekend, but it was a serious run, and I'm so happy for the guys at Jaguar to put this together for us.
Conquering this hill requires the utmost concentration.
By the time I got out in my run, I'd actually forgotten to switch the traction control off. So came out of turn 1 and it's just pip, 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 little cutting. All the way up to turn 2, I'm holding the button down and holding the steering wheel, trying to get it off. Tried to make it up to the top and used all my lives in one go.
One mistake can cost you in this one-run winner-takes-all format. The big talking point was both SUVs found themselves in the production and supercar King of the Hill Top 10 shootout. Ashley had been quicker all weekend. Would that change in their final run? Looking at their runs like this, it's rather telling. Ashley gets off the line better, but it's braking under the bridge where the run is won. Ashley late on the brakes and carrying more speed on exit. And that is what 0.3 of a second looks like on the hill. The fierce rivalry between Mark and Gavin had been well documented in the build-up to this weekend. The time for talking had come to an end. And it was Mark going into their class final, the faster brother. Both brothers super committed, neither leaving any margin for error. With another F-Type making the final, it would be a clean sweep for Jaguar, but who would end up on top?
Yeah, I think ultimately I was quickest all weekend, and I'm a bit shocked because I had a really nice run up the hill and it came back with a bit of a dodgy time.
I had a bit of a scrappy day, so working up towards that was good.
It is what it is. Kudos to Gav. He's been trying all day and he's put it together where it really counted.
Pipping Mark now was, that's what I'm here for.
Cheers, boys.
Well done, well done. Well done. Cheers. Ash, quite a bit in here. All right.